Hey class, trying something different today. So I'm going to present you with a learning target. We're going to practice some problems together. Then I'm going to give you some problems to do. You're going to take a picture of it, load it up to Seesaw, and let me know how you think you did. And then I'll be able to provide some feedback and we'll go from there. So our learning target for today is I can use place value to add and subtract decimal numbers without using the calculator. So I get it. You've got your Apple phone, you've got your Apple Watch, you've got a calculator with you. So oftentimes that's going to be the quickest and easiest way to do things, but not today. Today I want you to be able to learn how to add and subtract decimal numbers by accurately placing the decimal point, by lining things up. And we're going to talk more about that in the next slides. So here's the scenario. You go to a store, you have a granola bar that's 89 cents and a bottle of Gatorade that's $1.97. How much do you owe the cashier? So the cashier rings it up and says you owe $10.87. But when you use the calculator on your phone, you got $2.86. Who's right? All right, so let's look at this. So this is an addition problem, right? So we've got 0.89 or 89 hundredths, 89 cents, add $1.97 equals what? So to be able to add this not using a calculator, we need to write this out vertically, right? So we could go 89, add, or we could go $1.97, add 89. Notice that I have placed the decimal in the same spot, right? When adding and subtracting decimals, that matters. So then you do the math, and we get 97, 16, carry the 1, 17, 18, 286, or 7 and 9 is 16, 17, 18, 286, because we bring that decimal point down. So how did the cashier get $10.87? Well, let's look at that. Here's what I think happened. I think the cashier did this. Simply did not pay attention to where the decimal point is and just lined everything up, left going to right. So if you did that, you go 7, you can make this into a 0, right? You just add that if you want to. So you go 7, 9 add 9 is 8, 8 add 1 is 9, and 1 is 10, and then put the decimal place down. So the cashier did not pay attention to place value, did not pay attention to lining up the decimals. And that is the key in adding and subtracting decimals. So let's take a look at these two problems. And using what we know about lining up the decimal, how would we write this out vertically? Well, we would go 70 and 4 tenths, add 7 and 4 hundredths. Okay? Now, what you can do is, if it's easier for you to put that 0 in there, you can do that. Because what we know from rational numbers, and let's be rational, what we learned before, 4 tenths is equal to 40 hundredths. And this here is 4 tenths. This here is 40 hundredths, the same. So let's get back to adding. So we've got 0 and 4 is 4, 4 and 0 is 4, 0 and 7 is 7, and 7. And then you bring your decimal straight down. And so you've got 77 and 44 hundredths. Now here's why it's important to line up the decimal. Because what if we didn't? What if we just went 70 and 4 tenths, add 704? What does the answer become? 8, 0, 14. And where do you put that decimal? Are you going to put it here? Oops, that's wrong. Are you going to put it here? Are you going to put it here? Don't know. So that is incorrect. This is what you want to do. Let's go to the next one. So we've got 7 and 4/10. Add 7 and 4/100. Okay, so what do we get? Again, we can put that 0 in there if we wish. And we get 0 and 4 is 4, 4 and 0 is 4, 7 and 7 is 14. And then we bring down the decimal and get 14, 14, and 44/100. Now, we can do the same thing with subtracting, right? Again, it's all about keeping the place value where they need to be, keeping the tens with the tens, the hundreds with the hundreds, the tenths with the tenths, the hundredths with the hundredths, right? So if you've got 70 and 4/10 minus 7 and 4/10, how would you write that out? Let's go 70 and 4/10 minus 7 and 4/10. So see, I've got the tenths lined up, I've got the tens lined up, and then the hundreds lined up. So we've got 4 minus 4 is 0. We've got 0 minus 7. Well, that doesn't work, so we need to borrow, right? So 10 minus 7 is 3, and then 6. And then what you do is bring that decimal down, and you get 63. Now let's look at the next problem. We've got 7 and 4/10 minus 7 and 4/100. So again, we have to line up the place values. So we've got 7 and 4/10 minus 7 and 4/100. So you might ask, well, how can we do that? Because there's no number right here. There is. You can essentially add a 0 to that. Because again, what we learned from previous units in rational numbers, 4/10 is equal to 40/100. So we can add that. And then we can do the math. So then we go to make that a 10, make that a 3. So 10 minus 4 is 6, 3 minus 0 is 3, 7 minus 7 is 0. And then you bring down the decimal, and you get 36/100. All right, now let's use what we learned from investigation 1 with estimating and combine that with what we learned about adding and subtracting decimals. So let's go back to the original scenario where you go up to a cashier and you have an 89-cent granola bar and a bottle of Gatorade for $1.97. You should know before going up there roughly what it's going to cost based on your estimating skills. Because what if you only have $3? Do you have enough? Let's find out. So that granola bar, 89 cents, you can round that to $1. Add the Gatorade bottle, which $1.97 rounded up is $2, $3. So you know roughly right off the bat that it's going to be around $3. So when that cashier says $10.87 without even having a calculator, you know that they're wrong. So that's how you can use estimation with decimal numbers to see where your answer is roughly going to be. All right, now it's your turn. Here's your homework. ACE problems number 1, 2, 10, and 11 on pages 34 and 35. If you don't have the textbook, I've included a picture of the problems on the next slide. Now remember, I want you to estimate first. Write down what your estimate will be based on the decimals that you see, the numbers that you see. Write down what you think the estimate is. Then solve for the exact answer. I know you can do it with your calculator. I don't want you to do it with your calculator. I want you to show me that you can do it. Show me the math. Show me that you can solve for it, not using your calculator. When done, write down one of the 3 choices below. You can do this, you're getting there, or you need help. And then take a picture of your work and upload it to the assignment.